Guys, what's up? I haven't been making videos a lot. Haven't really been walking to the gym, by myself, so I haven't really had any time to really make any decent videos. Training this week has actually improved. It's gotten a little better. We've gotten I came pretty close last night to a 160 in the snatch, which isn't a personal best, but it is lately a personal best for me. I mean, it's not my best I've ever snatched, but on, I'd say, maybe this training cycle, these 12 weeks or whatever, this month or so, it has been. These couple months, it's been, 160, 165 in the range. But, so yeah, and I hit 165 once in the last 3 months, so I'd say 160 is the best, honestly. I think I just got lucky with 165, but, and it was real bad. It wasn't pretty at all. But, yeah, training has gone a lot better. Starting to get a lot of the numbers back up there. Squats I've gotten up to. I haven't really done a lot of back squats. I've just, for some odd reason, never been good at them. I mean, I could back squat. My best ever was, and this was as like a super heavyweight, heavier guy, 105 plus. I was, I think my best back squat, 245, 250, somewhere in that range. And I was weighing like 240 pounds. That's body weight back squat, but at that kind of body weight, it's really not, really not anything impressive. But my front squat numbers have always been not high, obviously, compared to the back squat. Obviously, your front squat is supposed to be lower than your back squat, but I've always seemed to, like, mechanically, like breaking down into the mechanics and stuff, I've always seemed to be able to get, like a straighter back with the front squats. I felt more comfortable with the front squats. And I mean, that could be just that, in Olympic weightlifting, we don't back squat or lifts, So everything consists of a front squat or an overhead squat or something like that. So, the front squat correlates more to my training. That makes sense. So, so that's on squat numbers have been. I did actually recently make a front squat PR, personal record, for anybody that doesn't understand. I will use the word PR a lot. PRs are just personal records, PBs, personal best, whatever, same thing. I made 220. I mean, it was a grind. I mean, it wasn't easy, but 220. And so yeah, I did a funny story. It was kind of funny. Funny for myself. Thinking that I could do it, but so that night I got the 220. I came back in the next day and I was like, I'm gonna try to clean that shit. It didn't happen. Front squatting, it's way different than doing a clean. You have to deadlift that crap, pull it, get under. It's a lot different. So yeah, needless to say, 220 clean did not happen. So yeah, back to my best numbers ever, and then I'll go over my best numbers currently on this training cycle. So best numbers ever since I've been weightlifting. I think I did hit a 180 snatch. It's either 175, 180. And clean and jerks, I've hit 210. So for myself, I mean, that's fairly decent. I wish I could get back up to those numbers. But and that was in the 105s. So I mean, it's not out of the reach. I'm just going to have to work a lot in strength work, deadlifts, grip work, wide grip deads. The wide grip deadlifts. Just doing a lot of squats. Just a lot of stuff to build the strength up. Pulls, snatch pulls, clean pulls, things like that. Just to build that strength up, the pulling strength off the floor and everything. So we can start getting some heavier weights up. But yeah, so then on this training cycle, the best I've lifted was 155 in the snatch, and 190 clean and jerk. So I mean, it's a bit far off of my best ever in this weight class, but like I said, we'll work on it, try to get stronger. I have some pre-existing injuries that are really starting to affect my training a little bit. Because like, I normally, never really seem to have a problem in doing mine went blank. Never really had a problem keeping the weights overhead. It's never really been a problem, but lately it has been a major problem, especially in the snatch. Not so much in the clean and jerks, because I'm able to stabilize those overhead a little better, but yeah, for sure the snatches, man. I did the 160 last night, or went for 160 last night. At the end of the workout, had already done volume training, had already done the full workout for the day. So I threw that in there, kind of like a last ditch, kind of last minute kind of effort. Said screw it, let's see what we can do. I was feeling pretty good in the snatch. And I had it locked overhead a couple times. If it speed was fast enough, the pull was good enough. Everything got me underneath, but it was, honestly, I have problems in my left elbow. Ironically, 160 was the weight that basically destroyed my left elbow. The weight I'm trying to go for. But yeah, the 160. And at that time when I injured it, 160 wasn't really a super difficult weight for me, honestly. It really wasn't. I mean, I was making, at that time, 160 consistently. Consistently easy, making them. 160 was never a problem. But now it's kind of getting to a point where the injury is really starting to affect my training abilities. Because like I said before, before the injury, 160 wasn't too bad. It wasn't that difficult for me. I was able to achieve 160 most of the time fairly easily. Sorry guys, live in the city now, so cars going by all the time. Little bit of hustle and bustle, even now at almost 10 o'clock at night. But anyway, yeah, so the time before the injury, I really, 160 wasn't a problem. I don't know, one day I got it overhead, was doing snatches, got 160 overhead, and, it just, I think I came a little too far forward and the weight came back. And, I don't remember if I was using straps or not. I think maybe I was, and that's one of my fears. One of the reasons I don't use straps is because I'm kind of scared of this effect. But I think the weight came back, and I was using straps. I'm pretty sure I was, and because I wasn't feeling 100% in my grip. I think I ran out of chalk at this time, and hadn't got some in a while, so used straps to keep the grip up and everything. Because the bar I was using didn't have super great knurl on it. So, yeah, I used the straps. It went behind me. And the problem with straps is you can't really fight a weight. What I mean by that is basically you can't, like if a weight's going behind you, you can't fight it and try to get it back balanced and try to stand up. You just can't. I mean, it's just not gonna work, especially with straps. It's very difficult because the straps wrap onto the bar. They go onto your wrist, wrap onto the bar, and give you extra grip on the bar. Well, straps, hence the name straps, you're basically strapped onto the bar. So a slight mistake like that, letting the bar come back too far, can cost you an injury. And yeah, so long story short, weight went back. I tried to fight it, try to bring it back balanced to where I could stand up with it. And well, needless to say, the weight won. It went back and fell back behind me, and I was still strapped on the bar. Now, it didn't completely go back with my arm. I was able to release it and get it off, but it's pretty close, almost coming fully back with my arm. And it went back, and I just heard this like popping noise, and usually that's tendons. When you hear things like that. So, yeah, I heard that popping noise. It was like, and I knew right then and there. I was like, that's something serious. It hurt so bad. But, me being an athlete, I have a lot of willpower when it comes to training. I don't give up. Like, I'm not joking, guys, and I'm legit with you. At the time when I had to train outside, I was out there, guys, believe it or not. I think I have some pictures on my Facebook. I was out there in the snow on this wooden, they were like these wooden, you ever seen like those steel beams? Well, these were made out of wood. And had those laid out. Luckily, it was kind of cool. Those were already there at the house when we moved there. But yeah, I had those laid out and everything, and there was ice on it. I'd come with a big old bowl of like hot water, dump it on there, and melt the ice off of it and all that. And I would train out in the snow and ice. And it's just maybe my dedication to the sport or whatever. I always try to stay dedicated. No matter what the conditions, no matter what the rain, sleet, snow, shine, I was out there training. So, I don't give up easily. So when I had the injury, of course, I iced it, rested it a little bit. Getting out of breath. I ain't had to take the trip walking in a while. Yeah, to the gym. Whew. Anyway, yeah. So, iced it, rest up like you're supposed to. And, did that for a few days. 3-4 days, maybe. And, after that fourth day, fourth day, I was out there training again. And I never really went to see a doctor. I never really went to make sure it wasn't serious. Because after a while, it stops giving me pain. But, when I get in training hardcore, like I've been on this training cycle, just trying to get the strength back, just going at it. It flares up sometimes with the inflammation, and it really starts hurting. So it affects the lockout, because obviously you have to have strong tendons and everything in the elbows, the shoulders, the wrist, everything, to stabilize all your stabilizer muscles. And when you have a serious injury to the elbow like that, it makes it very difficult to keep the weight stabilized, keep the weights locked out. So I don't know if it's gonna eventually get to the point where it's gonna stop my training. But honestly, guys, I think we'll turn that stone when we get to it. I just don't really see myself giving up. I don't give up. I work my ass off. I'd say in the weightlifting world, I really am spiderweb. Really am a workaholic. I don't stop. Like I said, I will train rain or shine, ice and snow. I'm out there. I bundled up and went out there. And luckily now I have the luxury to train on a, unfortunately it's still not an Olympic weightlifting gym, but a commercial gym where I'm inside, AC, things like that. So have that luxury. But when I first started, when I came up in the sport, I didn't have that. So I didn't have that luxury. So training was much more of a grind for me. In the beginning, I didn't have weightlifting shoes. I was out there in some freaking old Nike sneakers, just basic shoes. I didn't it was a good maybe year into training before I actually started working and bought myself some weightlifting shoes, and I still use those to this day. They're those cheap Addy Power, or no, Powerlift trainer, the blue ones that everybody sees online, the $90. I use them and been using those ever since. So, and they've lasted. They've been a hell of a shoe. Yeah, sure, I'd like the Nike Romeleos or something cool like that, but you use what you have. But yeah, I didn't come up in the sport, very well resourced. I didn't even have an Olympic bar till like 6 months later. I was using a standard bar, didn't turn. So when I got an Olympic bar, oh man, it changed everything. But lifts went up, everything. But anyway, sorry guys, you know, I mentioned before, my ADD, I switch topics a lot. Bear with me, guys. I get off track into another story. Anyway, so yeah, the point is yeah, I don't give up very easily on the sport. I am a workaholic. I work till I perfect, at least to the standard I want to hit. And really, I don't have a standard, because once I reach a weight, say I get back into, you know, getting into the 200s and the clean and jerks and getting back to 165, 170 snatches, I'm always going to want more anyway. It's not like I'm going to be satisfied with those numbers, you know. I'm going to say, okay, well, I got 170 now, I want 175. I got 175 now, I want 180. You know, you're never going to be satisfied. And that's got to be the way you approach training, is never, ever be satisfied. Never settle for the status quo. Always go above. I mean, you can incorporate that into life and training, you know? I always try to be 100%. Like, with these videos, I try to be 100% honest, real with you guys. You know, I'm new in the sport as well, but I'm sharing some of the knowledge I've learned over the last couple years to you guys on training and my own experiences. So, you know, I mean, take it for what it is. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm a newbie just like you. I've only been in the sport 5 years. So, you know, you don't have to listen to me, but I get on here and tell people, honestly, how I feel and a little bit of training advice, you know? So, yeah, so I don't, with that injury, I never gave up on training, so I was always moving, and, you know, always fighting to get better. That I just never really, honestly, I take an approach to my injuries that maybe I shouldn't, you know, because I could probably be hitting a lot bigger numbers right now, but maybe I approach it in the wrong way, because I take the injuries, for example, and I go and say, look, I take the injuries and I keep going just until they stop hurting. I don't ever get to the point where I ever let my injuries fully recover. I don't. And, you know, honestly, I should start doing that. Like, I'll rest a couple days or something and be right back at it again. I never ever, you know, take long recovery periods, because I just feel like the days I'm sitting out, the days I'm not working and etching at my skill, because, and I know I'm going to get off topic, but let me tell you something. People talk to me about find a trade, find a skill. This is my skill. This is my talent. You know, I was blessed that my father was, you know, my father was in the sport. He was a good lifter. I mean, he trained in the Olympic Training Center when he was younger for Olympic weightlifting. He was on the Junior Worlds team. Almost went to World Championships and things like that. So, I mean, he was close to being really successful in the sport. So, I mean, he was a good lifter. He's a good, in the sport anyway, he's a good guy to look up to. Anything else, I mean, a lot of us have those fathers, you know. Anyway, another subject. Not gonna get impersonal with you guys, but no, this is my skill, my trade. Believe it or not, like people think, oh, woodworking or something. Yeah, that's their trade. This is my trade. This is all I know. All I know now is how to pick up weights and put them over and build muscle and nutrition and everything. That's all my brain knows, honestly. And the knowledge I learned in school. But other than that, trade-wise, skill-wise, all I know is to lift heavy shit. That's it. That's about the tool bag of my skills. Oh, secretly singing, but I don't tell nobody. But no. So I have to work hard and etch at it and try to get better. Keep grinding at it. You know, getting better. So I don't ever take a lot of days out because, like I said, I feel like every day I'm taking out, I'm losing something. I'm losing a day that I could be getting stronger. I could be getting better. But anyway, guys, I'm here at the gym. Oh, here's the gym if you guys want to see outside the window. But yeah, guys. So I will get back to you later tonight and tell you how the workout went. All right, stay strong, guys.